Hello, I'm the TheZOMBIEJ. Lego. I don't know where I was going with that. To be honest, I don't know what direction this video is going to go in, but I guess we'll find out. So, Lego has had their fair share of controversy, and there's probably more to come. A recent example of a controversy Lego has done is controversial blind bag sets. They're basically little tiny cars. The Speed Champions Polybag one, I remember showing y'all. I did a Let's Build on that. But it's basically just that build, but with a little minifig head and a helmet in it. That's morbid beyond belief, because it looks like you have a decapitated driver's head in a helmet on a vehicle, and that's powering the vehicle. What? That just sounds kind of wrong, in my opinion. And, that was pretty bad. Another recent controversy was, this is an obvious one, canceling Mask of Power. Yeah, you knew this was going to be on this. You knew it. Mask of Power was a fan game that was going to not be made for profit. And it was free to play. It had 3 months worth of bugs and glitches and needed more ironed out, basically. And then people could play the free the band demo. Then the lawyers got involved. Lego's new legal team got involved, and they pressured Lego into ordering a cease and desist and telling Team Konohi, now Unmasked Games, to basically erase it from the public. Bastards, how dare you! At least the game data is saved on the Internet Archive, along with some videos. Just type in Bionicle Mask of Power and you'll find the stuff. So we could, well, I can't make animations, but so people can actually make animations using those models. That's pretty cool. But still, Lego, you shouldn't have done that. That really pissed a lot of people off, and in fact your legal team is the ones to blame here. For copyright infringement? You were okay with this game. What changed? The legal team and their stance on fan-made games and whatnot. So this was quite a controversy, and it dominated part of the spring season. And you know what? It's still being talked about in waves now. There are petitions for Lego to reverse it, but it's not going to happen because the legal team will probably just come up with some stupid bullshit, and their ways are bullshit anyway, so. Other controversies, like the Maori controversy. This was a big one when Lego was unleashing Bionicle in 2000 over in Europe, and over here in 2001. Oh boy, the Maori got mad. Maori tribes people of New Zealand. They got upset because some of their words were being used for Bionicle characters, as well as, like the word Konohi, basically meaning mask. That makes sense, and Kopaka basically meaning ice, and Toa meaning warrior. And Tohunga, this was where they got upset the most, was being used for an insignificant villager. Instead of what it really was basically like a shaman. And Taraga was being used as the shaman-like thing. Shut up. Yeah, so the Maori folks had every right to be mad at Lego, and so Lego sent a team of folks to help analyze the situation. And basically they just formed some guidelines to, well, make sure shit like this doesn't happen again. Still more controversies to go, folks, let's be honest. Yeah, this whole Maori thing was kind of, but I do understand the people. Lego was trying to trademark their language, and that is not cool. That is not good, Lego. You can't do that and expect nobody to get mad. So they already got mad, and there you go. Thankfully, I'm sure they're over it now, because G2 happened and the same words were being used. Makuta, the names for the Toa, although Anya was a thing, and I'm like, what? It's obviously Onua. And you spell Kopaka with a C? What? To be fair, this was like a leak, so... Anyway, point is, this was a controversy that really kind of set some people off, and Bionicle itself was a controversy because it was a building system. It was in a building system that was construction that was abnormal from the norm, which was system builds. Lego is all about system builds nowadays, but they still have SCCBS, which has ball joints. And so there were people that were actually saying that Bionicle is not real Lego. We call those people idiots, because it is real Lego. At least Bionicle is compatible with Lego, like the studs, for example. Galador was not compatible with Lego. It was somewhat compatible with Bionicle, kind of, not really, but they all have ratchet joints. So you could put Makuta's legs, you see where I'm going with this, on a Galador character, and boom, there you go. You got a mock. That's just fucking silly. Don't do that. Actually, if you do that, post me a link to that in the comment section below. I'd love to see that. Makuta glitched up with, I don't know, Euripides, for example. Controversies are basically things that could get you in trouble. And Lego's been in trouble so many goddamn times. There was... oh god. There were some sets that were controversial. Quite bad ones, to be honest. I can't remember any exact examples, but there were sets that were kind of really... yeah. I would like to think the Indiana Jones Temple of Doom set from 2009 or whatever was controversial because of the scene that it was associated with. Basically, you had, in the movie, you had this evil guy basically taking out a guy's heart, and that was messed up. And you also had a bad guy being just, you know, on a conveyor belt and being crushed by the roller thing, and on the other side comes out his blood. Wow. So, Lego did not want to reassociate themselves with that scene again, so they canceled this fourth Indiana Jones set that we were going to get last year or the year before. It was the recreation of the Temple of Doom, basically. And it still had that, they still had that scene in mind, and then they said, better not. So, that one got scrapped. How dare you, Lego? I mean, it's just one scene. Actually, it's two scenes, but still. That would have been a great set to have and complete the unholy quadrilogy of Indiana Jones Resurrection. But we didn't get that, so... actually, you get a double. Anyway, so I like to think that was a controversial set, both versions. Another one that was controversial, I'd say, was the Lego Technic helicopter thing. It was a big, expensive set, too, and it somehow slipped through the cracks from Lego. It was like a search operations military style double-bladed helicopter thing. It had two arms that... so, I can't remember the exact name of that thing, but it's used for rescue operations, also military operations, and Lego does not like the military things, so they released that set, and then immediately unreleased it. What the fuck, Lego? primarily because, well, yeah, World War II and whatnot, so they did not want to be associated with military stuff. So, but there was an Indiana Jones set that was a airplane that was from a military. What? You don't make sense, Lego. Luckily, Jang Bricks managed to get a copy of that helicopter thing from a fan. And good on you. There was a problem with that set, however, and it had to do with gears. It needed to be fixed. It needed to be modified to make sure the gears don't actually, break or whatever. Because there was electronics in the product. It was, yeah. And I'm sure whoever designed that set got, let's just say I'm sure that person got fired, either that or got a slap on the wrist and told never to do this again. Oh boy, what other controversies have LEGO gotten themselves into? Well, there was quite a few, and there was another recent one in recent memory within the past couple of years, I'd say. The Duck Bricks thing. Yeah. Duck Bricks isn't the one who fucked up, by the way. No, in fact, it was LEGO. So Duck Bricks got with Christian Favor to basically look at some old stuff. And we got prototype images from 2009 and other prototype stuff as well, and other cool stuff that we really needed to see. It got leaked onto the internet somehow, Mask of Destiny, for example, and Duck Bricks got in trouble. Christian Faber basically had to disassociate himself with the Duck Bricks immediately, just to avoid getting, dinged by LEGO. And Duck Bricks made a video, and yeah, Mask of Destiny was told to take off those images. So basically those images were scrubbed from the internet, except for Biomedia Project. No, not Biomedia Project. Biosector 01 has those images in the prototype section. Go look them up and download them now while you can. LEGO, these were important images to the Bionicle puzzle. Why would you want these gone? Simply because people don't like them knowing their things. Well, having secrets is one thing, but having these images forcefully scrubbed off of the internet only makes you look bad, and rightfully so. These are good images. These are interesting prototypes. It fuels more creativity for fans to make these prototype parts out of resin casts or resin printing, 3D printing, or even injection molding. That's more parts we could use, like the prototype Gelu sword that's like that long or something. That would have been awesome to have. And we didn't get that. We got two smaller blades. They're fine, but yeah. So, that's more parts for us to use in our box! Why do you not want that? You're supposed to be fueling creativity, and you're only suggesting something that is basically the antithesis of creativity. You don't want us to have those parts. I'm glad that as many prototype parts made its way onto Thingiverse and Shapeways anyway. Like the prototype Jollar and Ica mask, as well as the sword. I like that sword. I want that sword. Please, give me that sword now. There are so many other prototype parts that have been, remodeled and used. Those could be great parts to use for mock making, and you don't want that? Sounds like you got a philosophy change right there, motherfuckers. Well, that whole situation was just frustrating and annoying, and it pissed me the fuck off, and Duck Bricks was not to blame. No, you're to blame, LEGO. That's completely your fault. You are the ones to blame. 100%. Fuck you, twice. And you know, there were other things that they did. Other controversies. I can't remember exactly all of them. But there's one that's slipping my mind, and it has to do with colors. Oh yeah. Everyone is awesome. That is a colorful and awesome set. And it has reasoning behind it. Why it exists. It's representation. It's a great set. I love the array of colors that are used in that set. Why is that even controversial? I don't know. Because people are idiots sometimes. I want that set. I might get that set someday and put it... Fuck, I don't know. Right there. Right there where those two Mahi goats are. I might have to move the Mahi goats. Either that or... Yeah, I'll put it where Tomb is. I don't fucking know. Point is, I want that set. Because it supports a cause. Some people freaked out over that set for whatever reason. I don't know why. Fucking dicks. And that's more minifigs, too, that are of various colors that you could use. So, why freak out about it? People don't make sense anymore. But yeah, there are quite a lot of controversies out there that LEGO has been guilty of, and they still managed to move on from them. You know what another controversy is? Killing Bionicle twice. Why I said that so softly, I don't know. But it's because, well, Bionicle G2 was its own controversy, and it kept a lot of people up at night for 2 years with the idea of people enjoying this theme, myself included. And then when G2 was killed, these people celebrated because they're horrible individuals. If you're one of those individuals, go fuck yourself. Seriously, go fuck yourself twice. With a toilet plunger rod. Those people, they don't deserve to be Bionicle fans or even LEGO fans. Because they don't even care about Bionicle anymore. They just care about it enough to rip into G2 and just spew this unholy garbage that they've been spewing out of their mouths for 2 years. They're toxic individuals and you don't want to be a part of them. Yeah. Another controversy was canceling G1, and I know I already said that probably, but that's because the sales were sagging a little bit. The 2009 sets weren't selling as well as sets from prior years. And you know why? It's because these are new characters. These are new characters we've never seen before. This is a world we've never seen before until the end of 2008, basically. When Matanui, into the Mask of Life, shoots out of Makuda's chest and goes to this planet. Yeah. Just because this was a new world, that doesn't excuse anything. That doesn't mean you shouldn't buy the sets. You should always buy the sets and support this theme. I finally got Malum last year, after not getting him in 2009 or elsewhere. I did a Let's Build of him. Check that shit out. As well as a review. So, because sales of the sets were sagging, and the 8th and 9th graphic novels were not selling enough, and some other things weren't selling, they canceled Bionicle after releasing one more wave in 2010. The Stars. And those were controversial in on themselves, actually. Because it felt like they were rehashing what the 2008 Matoran did and what the Agori did. Only it's worse this time around, because what is new here? That Tahu mask, that foot, that armor piece, the Tiki face armor piece, I don't know. There are new parts. That Rakshi is the worst. If you disagree and you like that version of the Rakshi, you might have to just... Okay, there's no saving it. You are wrong 100%. The 2003 Rakshi, I'll look at them. They're up there. Those guys are the best. As opposed to that stupid Heat Vision Rakshi, which, yes, it would have been nice to have a Heat Vision Rakshi, but in that style, not that style. What? Plus we got Gresh twice. We got Skrull twice. We got Nektan, finally. That's cool. But why does he have to be small? He's supposed to be a badass warlord, not a fucking, Agori-sized piece of shit. Now I get it. It's a cool set. It's nice to finally have Nektan, the leader of the Skakti. But he's too small. He should be, I don't know, about Galtorian sized. Maybe that. Or regular Paraka sized. And we got Tahu. Mata, apparently. This is what he was supposed to look like, as opposed to that. I call bullshit on that 100%. That is Tahu Mata, not the Stars thing. And you know what? They played the Stars thing into the Mata Nui saga. Yeah, you go watch that. Bricks of Steel uploaded that years ago, so go watch that. The Toamata were not supposed to look like that. They were supposed to look... They weren't supposed to look skeletal or anything. They were supposed to look like they actually had, like, meat and armor on them and whatnot. It's like, what? And this was evidenced by the Stars Tahu. And in the piece of art that is in the Mata Nui saga. LEGO's controversies are weird, because it's hard to defend some of them when some of them are ridiculous. Like that double helicopter thing I talked about. That shouldn't have been released, period. Because, I mean, you let it slip through the cracks. Clearly, it should have at least made its way to some fans' hands, and it did, and that's how Jengrix got a copy from a fan. Very few copies of this set were actually, you know, purchased. If you actually let the set be purchased, maybe you would actually get money out of it. Isn't that what you care about? Making money? Well, apparently they let their morals get in the way of making money. So, whatever. LEGO, your controversies are weird, but I still like the Everyone is Awesome set. Very colorful and fun, and it has a unique message behind it. There are plenty of other companies that have delved into controversies, and, well, let's just say, in terms of gaming, we have EA and Activision. And in terms of the toy industry, we have Hasbro. And in terms of the movie industry, well, there's so many of those, I don't even... It seems like LEGO was destined to be a company with all of these controversies in place. And it further soured some people on whether or not they should support you or not, Lego. And some people freaked the fuck out over these. Some people actually respected these for some reason. But, yeah. What are controversies that you remember from LEGO? Are there any that I have missed? Clearly. Let me know those in the comment section below. And are you a fan of the Everyone is Awesome set? I clearly am. It's a good set. There's no reason to complain. You got minifigs of a plethora of colors. Wow. That's worth complaining over? You crybabies are just a bunch of pussies, let's be honest. Just embrace the set for what it is. And what it represents. As for me, I mean, there are other sets that I find controversial in terms of construction, like Star Wars. The Star Wars sets, some of them are... The fact that CCBS died with Star Wars in that final wave in 2018, that's a controversy on itself. It was destined to happen, and the writing was on the wall. So... Darth Vader #2 was one of the last sets we got that year. I didn't get it because I like the one I have. Darth Maul was there. Chewbacca was there. Han Solo was there. I think there's another one. Yeah. Point is, controversies are weird, and there are definitely plenty of controversies that LEGO have put themselves through. As kind of a marketing ploy, I don't know. Is that even possible? Is a controversy? Is LEGO getting these controversies bestowed upon them just to gain more money, gain more fans, or lose fans? Think about it. Well, I don't think it's going to make them lose fans. I mean, they've lost fans before, but they'll always gain more. Trust me. I'm still a fan, but I have my issues with them, and I'm wise to their ways. But controversies are they're just part of being a company, you know? You can't really complain too much about these controversies anymore, because a company is always going to have something controversial. Like, video game companies have controversial stuff in their video games. This has been going on for eons. And for LEGO to have controversies in with their sets, or with the logistics behind some of their sets, it's just part of who they are, I guess. It's just part of what makes LEGO sets LEGO sets. They're building block toys, but with the occasional posability of stuff. The minifigs are tried and true. That's good. Yeah. But there are some minifigs that I think look terrible. Does that make me terrible? Probably, but I don't think so. At the end of the day, it's all opinion-based, and you're entitled to your opinion. So am I. And so are LEGO. So, this has been 29 minutes of me rambling on. I think I've spoken enough on this topic, so I've got a couple more, well, actually no, one more video for y'all today. Oh, what do I got here? Yeah. Okay, well, just checked off those. So, are there any other controversies that I've missed? Let them know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section below. And stay tuned for more videos. I'm TheZOMBIEJ. I'll see you folks there. Have a good fucking day, and peace.